Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just watched Chucky, Season 1. I wasn't sure about this show because I heard about it around the same time as the reboot film was being done, and there was a lot of talk about the rights and what sort of show and what would be related to the movie Chucky and which would be the reboot. And I wasn't sure of it. I didn't know what it was. And then I just had some data left. I was trying to use up before my monthly bill goes through, and I thought, what can I watch? And I'm like, oh, Chucky. That's right, they did a Chucky series. I haven't watched that. And to my surprise, my pleasant surprise, it actually is related to the movies, and it's canon to the movie universe. It's nothing. It's not a separate universe or the reboot or anything. And they had the actors from the original movie, the original Andy and Christine Elise or whatever from the second film, and they had Jennifer Tilly and Brad Dourif was doing the voice and everything because Mark Hamill did the reboot voice movie. He thinks he can do every voice, but yeah, he didn't do a good Skeletor and he didn't do a good Chucky. I love him, but yeah, no. So that movie was awful, by the way. I don't know if I did a review for that, but I'm glad I didn't pay for it. I just walked into a screening one day just because I'm like, I want to know if this is good or bad, but I actually don't want to watch it. So I saw it and it was awful. But the series was great. It was 8 episodes. There was only one bad episode out of the whole lot. There was one really poorly written episode. I might as well get the bad out of the way up front. Chucky is basically thrown out by one of the parents, and I swear to God, in the same episode, he walks into a room holding the doll, and they're like, "What are you doing with that?" And he said, "Oh, I just found it," and then he went and threw it out again. I'm like, "Do you not remember you threw that out? Are you not wondering how did this doll get back from the hospital where I threw it out into my house?" And then that's the same episode where the kids don't realise that Chucky's swapped into a new body because his body's been burned. The doll he was in has been burned, so someone bought someone another doll and he just went and possessed that one. And I'm like, of course that's what he's going to do. Because I was looking at him and I'm like, oh my God, they burnt him. He's a mess. I'm like, how could they do that to this character? I'm like, he's a good guy doll. There's plenty of them. They can just go on eBay, get a new one, and he can just transfer into it and have a new body. So he sort of has this, just access to all these doll bodies he can replace. So yeah, they did that, and the kids killed a regular doll thinking it was him and didn't realize he transferred into a different doll and so forth. So yeah, it was like, how can they not know this or work this out? And it was just this, oh, we've killed him, it's all over. And I'm just like, they wouldn't think this, and no one in the audience is thinking this. Who are they doing this for? And the audience isn't buying it. The characters wouldn't be this stupid. It just didn't work. And unfortunately, that was the episode where the boys kissed for the first time. I'm like, why did that have them kiss in the worst episode? But yeah, there is a romance between these two kids, and I'm like, how old are the actors? Because the kid that the main guy, the main character Jake, has a crush on this guy, this little black kid Devon, and he looks like 12 or something, but he's actually 17, and the other actor, who I thought was like 20 or something playing younger, is actually 15. So I'm like, okay, that's so weird. No, he's 16 and the other guy's 17. So but it was just really weird. I'm still not used to the amount of representation we have. Just watching these two high school kids navigate a romance and fall for each other and kiss and become boyfriends and hold hands and all this stuff. I'm like, I kind of still can't believe we're seeing this, because back in the day when I was younger, we never would have seen anything like this on TV. So even though we've had Queer as Folk and stuff like that, but they're their own sort of gay shows. This isn't a gay show, but they've got gay characters, and it's really not an issue. They weren't really, virtue signaling or anything. It wasn't, it wasn't woke or anything, I didn't think, but there was a lot of diversity, but it just was just there. So it was nice. I really enjoyed it. The production was great, and Chucky was great. I was kind of shocked by some of the murders. Like, at first I hated Lexi. I really, really hated Lexi, and I thought she was going to die in like the second episode. I was like, yes, kill this. She is a absolute, I just wanted to see her die. Like, they make these horrible characters in horror movies so everyone, you know, wants to see them die, and you get to enjoy those characters, and there are other characters you care about that you sort of, you know, don't want that to happen to. But she ended up turning into one of the main characters and running through the whole series. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. I really expected her to die because she's such a horrible, horrible, mean girl, just the worst. And they killed right away one of the parents. And I think they killed 3 parents in this film. Was it 3 or 4? They killed the dad at the end of the cinema. The mother with cancer got pushed out a window. The father got electrocuted. The mother, who was the police officer or detective, fell downstairs and broke her neck. There was just killing all the parents. And I think they underplayed the kids' reaction to the parents being killed a little bit. That's about the only fault I can give for the series. And it's it was a little bit hard to follow because I've only seen the first 2 Chucky movies. I've got, I think, 4 of them on DVD. I got a box set that had the first 4, I think, and there's 7. So there were 2 more features, and then there was a TV movie called Cult of Chucky, which is where he learns how to basically put himself into multiple dolls and create like a little army. And that's one of the things that happened in this series. He had to get one of the kids because he was trying to get Jake to kill, and Jake wouldn't do it. And he ended up getting one of the other characters to kill, and then that allowed him to spread his seed, so to speak, into all the little toys. So there's like 72 Chuckies now at the end of the series, all being driven off in a van with, what's the name of the female Chucky doll character? Yeah. So we don't know. That was a cliffhanger. Andy's driving off of it, supposedly to destroy them, and then, you know, the female Chucky doll breaks the window and holds a gun at his head and basically is like, yeah, drive, you know. So that's the cliffhanger. They do get a second season. They did get renewed, so I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting much. I didn't even know, like I said, if it was canon, if it was going to relate to the movies, or if it was just going to be a reboot or its own thing. But they brought in the original characters, and there's other characters in the later films who I don't really know, not familiar with, but they seem to continue everyone's stories, and they seem to just treat the whole franchise and all the movies with respect, from what I can tell, having not really seen all of them. But they seem to address everything as complicated and convoluted as things got. It doesn't look like they just decided to do their own thing. But I'll watch the movies and I'll work that out. But yeah, now I want a Chucky doll. I'm like, how do I not have a Chucky doll? Look at I've got so much more stuff than what you can see behind me. How do I not have a Chucky doll? I was going through my mind a little while ago and like, what are all the like life-size prop replicas I can have that, you know, I don't have? Like, you know, Jason mask, Freddy gloves, the Hellraiser cube, phasers, all these sort of things that are in movies. And I'm like, I don't have the Chucky doll. So now I have to get one. I've only seen 15-inch ones that are kind of, you know, big, but they're like toys you can hold or whatever, like that sort of, but they're not as big as a real Chucky doll. So I got to do some research about that. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I can't think of anything else to say about it. Just, it was 8 episodes. It was good. There was only 1 episode that sucked. All the performances were good. The murders were horrific. The parents being killed was shocking because just some of the kills were shocking because I really thought they'd just sort of go with cheap, expendable people and not kill sort of main characters or important characters. And just seeing the kids see their parents murdered was really brutal. And I know it's a horror series, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite that dark. I was thinking it would be more sort of the sort of Riverdale sort of level of just sort of you know, CW sort of level. But they really went there with some of the episodes, some of the murders and stuff. But it was good though, and now it makes me want to watch the other movies, and it makes me want to buy Chucky merchandise, and that's the sign of a good film or good TV series, or, you know, it makes you want to just get into the franchise even more, not sort of just contradicting. And there's a lot of issues with franchises at the moment with rights that are split. I mean, Chucky was an issue. They seem to have sorted it out, or at least the people who have some. There was a whole rights issue there. There's a lot of rights issues with stuff at the moment. And it's just a mess, but I'm just glad they managed to get a good series out. They're going to get at least 2 years, and, you know, it'll always be here for us to watch. So I'm just really, there's not a lot of like horror TV series, and at least there's this one which is good. The Supernatural finished. I can't think of anything else. I'm going to go. I already said all that. Bye.